2025 standard, they know that you would have achieved certain international standard. So they don't have to come here. They know you would have gone through certain procedures, and the procedures are acclaimed internationally. And the body that accredited our laboratory was JANA, the Jamaica National Accreditation Committee, and they were further accredited. They are accredited by an international body, the ILAC, which is the body that approves accrediting facilities. So we have that extra edge. Millers who utilize the system might not, because it's a government body, they might feel that the standards might be compromised, etc. But we cannot compromise any standards because we are audited on a regular basis by the GNBS and by the JANAC to ensure that we are following the procedure. Samples are tested. We are presently doing a proficiency testing with one of the internationally certified labs in France, and that is to show that what we are doing here at least meets the same minimum standards that they are using. And I must say this is the second year that we have been doing that, and it compares favorably with what we're doing here and what they're doing internationally. So it's not Guyana or GRDB says that what we're doing is competent, is efficient. We have international acceptance.
Now that you're recognized and accredited by the ISO, how does it benefit the organization and Guyana as a whole?
We were the first internationally accredited lab in Guyana, and thence after came the Eureka Medical Lab. So we are still one of the labs that are certified that are not medical, because most of the accredited ISO standards are medical. And you know, if we do a test medically and we test and it says it's positive and it's supposed to be negative or vice versa, what a calamity that could be. So testing using the ISO standardization or being accredited to that ensures that what we are doing, when we say it's positive, a positive result, it is a positive result. When we certify a rice as being extra A, as meeting an international quality standard as requested by the buyer, it does meet that standard. And we expect that once it reaches the important country, that it would conform to what it is said on the certificate. The benefits of that: the person in Jamaica does not know Alson Peters, they do not know Guyana Rice Development Board, they do not know Guyana Rice. But once the certificate is issued, they have the confidence that what is in the certificate is what they're going to receive. So it has opened doors. Person in Europe doesn't know us, but they want the rice to be certified by an accredited body because they know what accreditation means. So I would say it has done good for us. Our name is known out there. Persons ask for certificate being issued by the Rice Development Board. As a matter of fact, the law states that the Guyana Rice Development Board is the only certifying body for rice to be exported and to be certified. We have a few private persons that have come out along the way, but the mandate is still us through the same act of 1994, and so we have the mandate to certify rice. Once rice is to be exported from Guyana, it comes with a contract. The contract that the buyer requires a certain quality of rice. We have officers in all regions that produce rice, and it starts from at the mill. Once a contract arrives at GRDB, signed by GRDB and the buyer, we attempt to make sure that the buyer gets what he's requesting. So we sample the rice, we ensure that the rice meets the specification, so much percent rate, so much damage, etc. And if it does not meet that quality in the region coming out from the mill, we do not allow that rice to reach the export point, which is the wharves, etc. So there is minimum amount of rice that would actually leave Guyana and say be rejected, because it would have been certified at the mill, and At the point of export also, we do a final check to ensure that what left the mill is actually what is leaving. So there is very minimum amount of rice being rejected. What happens? The physical rice would meet general specifications, but there are other things that the quality department does. Fumigation of rice, which is a phytosanitary requirement of countries buying rice, etc. So it's not only to make sure that we have the physical rice, but there are other sanitary, phytosanitary requirements of the department.
Thank you, Ms. Peters. We're heading back to the Chief, Mr. Hassan. Not only are you the General Manager of the Ghana Rice Development Board, but you also expertise in marketing. What is the current state of marketing in the industry right now?
Oh, well, Guyana exports and has been exporting to many countries over the years. The markets exist in the Caribbean, in North America. We've exported to both the US and Canada, small amounts, and we export a lot to Europe. Within South America, recently we had the big market, which was Venezuela, but Venezuela is not the only country that we export to. We export to Brazil and some other countries within South America, Suriname, and so on. So generally, Guyana has been exporting all the products, starting from paddy right up to rice packaged to so many countries. Our main markets right now are in Europe. That's the biggest block that is important from us. Within the Caribbean, Jamaica stands out as the major buyer of rice and rice products in Guyana. But overall, we have markets for our production. Let's put it that way. Having said that, though, must let you know that the GRDB is accelerating its efforts to find new markets and markets for some additional products. We want to encourage, like I mentioned at the start of the program, value addition. So we also going to be seeking out markets that exist for these products and work backwards with our investors or millers or anybody who wants to invest in that area. Must let you know, though, that at the start of the program you mentioned rice is grown on the coast. We also have rice grown in Region 9, and that rice is exported directly to Brazil. We have hundreds of acres of rice that has been grown by an investor there, and that is exported to Brazil. Also, when you spoke to Dr. Prasad with respect to the work of the research, we have seen that over the past 5 to 7 years, that average prices, especially for white rice, has been declining. And thus it's important for us to improve our productivity. Obviously, it starts with research producing the better quality of or better type of grain that can give you the kind of productivity that is needed. But it's important for our farmers, our producers, to recognize that there isn't a specific market that's going to pay us a bonanza price. Guyana is currently trading at world market prices, and world market prices are declining. Thus, we have to focus on improving productivity and managing our production costs. If we don't do those two things, we may find that we're operating at a loss. Also, we must treat our farming as businesses, and we have to treat it with every strict principle that applies to any business. When you need to check your crop after you've sown, when you need to monitor for bugs and diseases and so on, you need to do these things and be conscious of cost. So I agree with Alison, because I wanted to bring that a point out too. We've heard from Kuldeep, and we can see why he's the extension manager, right? Every one of the roles and functions of the GRDB is as important as anyone. There's no one that is more important than another. And whilst we have been speaking here only of just research and extension and quality control, within the specific functions, there's another line that breaks it down where we have officers doing, let's say for instance entomology, if you see breeding, if you're doing agronomy, and they're doing all these kinds of research ready to support is to support to the industry. It's not to support the GRDB, because everybody in the GRDB has that passion to see the industry grow. And this is where the collective effort. So I just wanted to bring on the point that it's not just a department, but it's one GRDB working towards the development of the industry. And we wanted to let the stakeholders know that we are here for you. We want to work with you. We want to work with the farmers, the millers, the investors, anybody to whatever the challenges are. Let's sit down and work on them. There are going to be sometimes it may not happen as fast as some of the stakeholders would want it to happen, but the stakeholders should know that we have a committed, passionate staff and organization there to help them.
There's a 10-year strategic plan drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Could you elaborate a little about that?
Well, that plan, of course, speaks about the vision of where the GRDB, but not just the GRDB. Obviously, it fits into the policies of the vision of the Ministry of Agriculture in terms of where it wants to go. Each one of the disciplines that we've just discussed would have had specific focuses or where they are focusing in terms of what you want to do. For instance, there's an effort to improve mechanization in the industry. Some of the things that Alison has mentioned in terms of having accredited labs and having improved facilities in terms of us venturing into new markets and so on, and likewise with extension. But I'll throw it out back to these officers to maybe speak something on how their work fits into the strategic plan.
From research standpoint, the key goal is to improve the productivity. Productivity, it's not only developing varieties. We have component of packages of practice, soil management, nutrition management, disease management, pest management, and the key pests at this front is like paddy bug, and one of the key field problems also is like red rice for the agronomists, and also to maintain our varieties and produce high quality seeds that are distributed to the farmers. So we have also a key focus to produce high quality seeds for a farmer on a continuous basis. And these are all part of the strategic objective of the board in terms of research, and also to work on to improve the product and value added and develop specialty rice. That's one of the specific objective under the goal of research, which we have. It was 2015 we were supposed to target that, and we have completed. So we are on all the objectives on the goals of on the vision for 2022. Research are quite ahead of them, because one of the key ones to develop, we are to move productivity from 4.1 in 2012 to carry it around 6 tons per hectare in 2022. This is 2016, we are already 5.5 tons per hectare. And for that to happen, you have to have the varieties, the package of practice, and the management techniques and all the discipline to back that up. So we are on track as far as research is concerned, but still a lot of work to be done. As per today, we have to be 10-15 years ahead, so still a lot more to do.
Okay, Ms. Peters.
Okay, well, basically, our vision is to ensure that all persons that are certifying rice knows what they're doing, they're trained. And we have a program within the industry where at each mill we have license graders who certify the purchase of paddy on behalf of the rice board, and they're trained by the department. So one of our visions is to ensure that all labs that are purchasing paddy have trained or licensed graders, one or more, to certify rice on our behalf. The other vision is we had the accreditation of the central laboratory, and that has been achieved, and we want to go further to have the individual laboratories within the regional offices also accredited. We want that when rice leaves Guyana, that the rice is known for its quality, that once persons come to buy rice from Guyana, they know they will have an acceptable quality of rice leaving here. So We want to ensure that our certificate says what it does, and that is our vision for the future.
Thank you, Mr. Ragnar.
Well, in terms of extension, I did mention the 4 area of focus. What we intend to do is to intensify our efforts in those 4 areas. And again, paying a lot of emphasis on the technology transfer component.
You can see that there's a lot of work that the GRDB has been doing, will continue to do towards development of the industry in Guyana. So thank you again.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Hassan and team of the Ghana Rice Development Board. I am Carol Davy. Thank you so much for watching.